Yeah. Yeah. Oh, wait.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. We're live with the Islamic Center of Passaic County and the Islamic Education Foundation. We have Sister Khaldia Mustafa here with us today and Sister Nada Samo. Welcome to the both of you today, and thank you so much for doing this. I will introduce Sister Khaldia. She is the Principal and Guidance Director at Al-Ghazali Junior Senior High School with her MA in Teaching Education, MS in ED Educational Technology from Ramapo College. She is New Jersey certified and earned her CALE when she received her certification in Advanced Educational Leadership from the Harvard Graduate School of Education and was certified through the Principal Center at Harvard University in December of 2019. Welcome, Sister Khaldia.
Jazakallah khairan, barakallah fiki.
Allah yabarik fiki ya Rab. And we have Sister Nada Samo, who is also the guidance counselor at Al-Ghazali Junior Senior High School with her MS in clinical mental health counseling and her extensive experience in the field. Nada provides Al-Ghazali students with guidance on career development, academic achievement, and behavioral, social, physical, and mental health. Thank you so much for joining us today. And this is the third three-part series that Sister Khaldia will be presenting today, and the floor is yours.
Jazakallah khairan. Assalamu alaikum. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Wassalatu wassalam ala ashraf al-khalq wa khatim al-mursaleen, Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And today is actually a special night with the commemoration of Al-Isra wal-Mi'raj, of our dear Prophet's journey, alayhi salatu wassalam, from Mecca to Al-Aqsa. So it is really a special night tonight, and I'm glad to be here. It is our third session, and I'm very happy that I was able to do this, and inshallah we can continue in the future. And as I end, again, I will ask anyone who needs even personal guidance and help, academic counseling, to please reach out to myself at IAFschools.org or Sister Neda and Samo, IAFschools.org, which will be also left in the chat here in the comments. So please feel free to ask any questions. I'm going to be starting, inshallah, right now talking about the high school resume, inshallah. Let me see if it is presenting. Do you see it presenting?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, good. So in your high school resume, I'm talking now to our wonderful students who actually starting from 9th grade, you should start, that list of things to do to build your high school resume when it comes to extracurricular activities, joining clubs, volunteer hours, internships, research work that you can get, or any extra things that you can add to your resume will be very helpful when colleges are looking at you as an applicant, and hopefully, you have a strong record at the end with your grades, with your extracurriculars, your volunteering, your work, and of course the recommendation letters that we spoke of before. In your resume, you should have in there all of your coursework, your work experience, your volunteering opportunities, extracurriculars, as I just said, your career goals, skills, any awards and honors that you have. So please, from 9th grade, you should start saving all of these things into a portfolio. That's just a recommendation that we like to give. Keep everything in, with a plastic sheet and take care of everything. So when you're ready to apply, many of the universities might ask you for copies of these things, and it's good to have. And when you meet or interview, you can have a beautiful portfolio to present with some of your really great works and all of the awards that you might have won. It can be academic, it could be humanitarian, it can be, getting a recognition for your volunteering time. Wherever you volunteer, make sure that you're getting those hours approved and signed for, and that you have a letter from the organization that you are volunteering for, vouching for you, or get a form from your school. We as well in Al-Ghazali have a form that students can take to the organization that they're volunteering in and get those hours signed for each time, so you have that evidence when asked about your volunteer hours. You can list your major or intended majors, and now when we talk about majors, some of the high school students might not really recognize what is a major. So a major is something that you're going to be interested in, you're going to study that specific field or that specific subject in your college. And that's something you need to think about. Are you a science and math person? Are you a, literature and arts and all of that good stuff? You have to kind of explore options. I know at high school, Sister Neda actually gives the kids a kind of, I could say, career exploration test, maybe a little quiz that they can take that's online. Neda, can you talk to them a little about that option that you do with the students? Sometimes they actually fill out all their interests, and then some different majors might pop up that match their interests.
We do like a career assessment, and it does help the student explore the different career paths that they can take depending on their interests and what they're good at. So I can put that in the link, inshallah. I can send it.
Inshallah, that would be nice. For some kids really don't know what they want to, what they want to major in, what they want to study, what career path that they want to take. And sometimes it will take time. You don't have to always know when you're a senior or a junior, you will explore even getting into college. But I always tell our students that if you actually do have an interest and you do know what you want and you're pretty sure and set on that, it's a lot easier because now you can start applying to the many, many different programs that universities offer for students that are accelerated right out of high school. So we have many of our students, I'm gonna give a big percentage of our students, about 30% of them will apply to major STEM programs where they are actually coming in right out of high school, accepted already into a medical school, MD programs, DO programs, physician assistants, physical therapy, nursing, so many different things. Law, there's a lot of law programs as well that you take an accelerated path where you take 3 years of undergraduate and then 3 years of law school. Same thing with the medical programs. You will study 3 years of undergraduate school and go right into the 4 years of either medical, dental. You can also get into many engineering programs that you get master's degree in right out of high school. You have that plan set for you. But of course, while in college, you have to keep in mind that you will have to keep a certain GPA, keep a certain status as a student, or else they can drop you from these programs. So you have to be a good student, hardworking, mashallah. And we see a lot of success from our students at Al-Ghazali when they move on into these programs and they continue and they become all of these great professions, alhamdulillah. So that's one thing I wanted to say about majors and about your high school resume. And the next thing that I wanted to talk about was, let me go to the next slide. The college essay, okay? The college essay is a very important part, a very integral piece of the entire application process and how to prepare for it. I think you should be doing this early on. In this slide, I have a lot of links, and I think Sister Donna, maybe I'll share this with you and you can share it with them.
Sure.
It has a lot of links there with blogs, with different tips on, what the college essay should be about, what you should say, what you should write. I know in schools, a lot of times the English class is preparing the students for the college essay. We do that at Al-Ghazali as well, what you should say about yourself. But this is really a personal statement about you and why you want to go to that university, why you want to major in whatever you're majoring in. And when they read this, it just says a lot about you. So standing out in a college essay is very important, making you as different as you can be. That's not to say that if you are interested in medicine, yes, many people might be interested in medicine, but why are you interested? What gave you that interest? Something in your life, your history, your story, your reason behind it, your family history, your family life, all of these things will matter in the college essay. So we will add these links for help, inshallah. And then the next one that I wanted to discuss, I have to keep moving though, Sister Donna, from one to the next. I'm not sure why it's not flowing, but I'll do it that way, inshallah.
Not a problem.
The next thing that I wanted to talk about was, what is the application like? What is a college application? Because a lot of you are like, what do you mean application? It's an actual application that you must fill out, requires you to make an account for the university. So every university actually has an application on their website in their undergraduate admissions section. You can do it individually, right to that school. Some of them might require you to actually do it on the Common Application. So you will go to any university, for example. Let's say you want to apply to Rutgers, rutgers.edu, princeton.edu. Any university.edu is the website for that university. So the name of the university plus edu, undergraduate admissions application, you go on there and you make an account and then you start filling out. There's a lot of personal information that they will ask for you, information about your name, your address, your schooling, your family, you know, your educational courses that you've taken. There's many questions that will be on that application. But something that they developed, which I think was a great addition to applications, was something called the Common Application. And you can find that on commonapplication.org. You go in there and you make an account, and now you can make one application and apply to 10, or is it 20 schools now, Sister Neda? 20 schools, I believe.
Yes, you can apply up to 20 schools.
Up to 20 schools at one time, where you're only filling out that information one time. So that repetitive nature of your name, your address, your phone number, your email, you know, all the different, even the essay, like, will be the same for the Common App. So you're going to do that one time, and it'll go to all the 20 schools that you want it to go to. You know, I'm not recommending that you apply to 20 schools, but we do have many students who decide that, you know, there are pretty, mashallah, great record. They have a competitive nature in them. So they want to try many schools, as many as that they can get into, especially when they're looking for Ivy League. They might apply to all of them. And, you know, their chances might be higher that way. You never know. I think I always recommend that they do, if they meet that requirements of that university and the profile of that university. Why not? Unless you feel like the applications are just too expensive and you can't afford it. Again, we'll talk about something called EOF and how you can get waivers for that after I finish with the Common App. So with Common App, you're doing that one application to the many different universities, and your counselor is only doing one as well that goes to all the schools. And we're sending your transcript, we're sending your letters of recommendation, and we're doing a school report, something that is called a school report, which really just says a lot about you as a student in your high school. They're asking us for your rank, for your grades, for the rigor of your courses, for comparing you to the rest of your student body or your class, about the type of student you are, and how highly motivated you are. And then they're asking us for our recommendation, if we will recommend you highly, enthusiastically, strongly, fairly, poorly. And, you know, we try to be very honest in when we're recommending. We are as helpful as we can get and honest as we can get, inshallah. So that's the Common App. But there are some universities on that Common Application that will require you to fill out something called a supplemental form. So they will ask you maybe for another essay, for another question that they want answered, for other information. Now that is the decision of that university, but it is called a supplemental. So the process is a lot easier if you use the Common Application. And if that university is not on Common App, then you must go to their own site. They have something called the Coalition, which is another way to apply. We mostly use Common Application at Al-Ghazali High School, but I know that there are some that we work with that use the Coalition application, which is also similar to this, where many universities are members, and, you know, they will all get that at the same time. Any questions before I move on about this?
I don't have any questions.
No.
Okay, inshallah. And usually the information that they're asking you for is your counselor's name, your school's name, the phone number of your school, the fax number of your school, the email of your counselor, and something called the school CEEB code, which is the College Board code for your school. Every high school should have one of these. So you need to have all this information when you're doing your college applications. Okay, and then the other information that is very necessary for you to know, to have on hand when you're doing an application, these questions will be asked on the application, on the Common App or regular, about the GPA of your school. The information that they ask is, what is your GPA out of? Usually it can be out of a 4.0. Some schools might have 4.5. or even 5 at some times. We at Al-Ghazali, we do not rank our students. We chose to only do percentiles so that more students can actually have a higher percentile. Since we are a small school, it benefits many more students than just whoever graduated at the top of their class. We can have students at number 1. Usually 10 to 12 students a year are actually at the top of their class doing really excellent over the 4.2, 4.1, 4.3, mashallah, doing really well. And then usually we'll ask you if your GPA is weighted or not. You need to know that from your school as well. And you also need to know the number of your graduating class size. These are questions that will be asked on your applications, inshallah. So keep all this in mind if you're applying, and get all this information from your school if you don't know this.
Khaldia, why would somebody have a GPA that's weighted as opposed to a GPA that's unweighted?
Okay, so the reason why it would be weighted is because of the courses that you're taking. And I know we spoke about honors levels and advanced placement level courses. These are higher level classes, college level classes. So schools are giving we give a 0.5 added to the GPA for each honors and AP class that you take. So that's added to the cumulative GPA.
So it's only weighted if you take honors or AP courses?
Yes, yes. A 0.5 is added to that grade at the end of each year for each course. And that's why you can see that some of our students are above 4.0 because of that 0.5 that's added for each course. So let's say the kids in all honors or all APs, they will get a lot of value points for that.
And students, for them to fill out the Common App, can they do this in junior year, or is it strictly senior year?
They can just fill it out, but I don't believe they'll be sending it to the colleges if they're not, ready to apply yet. You have to be really ready to apply, but you can start your application and get it ready and understand it and learn about what it needs and what you need to know. So maybe it won't be something strange when senior year comes and you have to do that application. So I know that we go through it sometimes with our students, letting them know what to expect. And I wish we even had more time to sit one-on-one with them more. I know we're going to start working with the juniors, inshallah. But yes, this is very important for you to understand what it entails and what you need to know and the information that you need to have as well.
We normally recommend that students look at it during junior year, and we do, help the students create applications, create like a login and a password, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they can create that login and password in junior year. There's no problem with that. And
it gets erased, so that they would have to start as seniors to.
Yes, I mean, and we do have some of our juniors who actually do finish as a junior, and mashallah, they did everything. They took all the courses that they needed, and they took the extra courses that they need for requirements and met the requirements for New Jersey graduation. And we do allow them to graduate in 11th grade, and mashallah. So we do have about, I think, is it 7 or 8 this year who are juniors and already accepted to universities, mashallah. And then this next thing I wanted to discuss was the secondary school reports and the high school transcript request. You're going to see a lot of that when you're applying. So the secondary school report is your high school report coming out of the guidance department office, asking us a lot of questions about you. They also ask us about your discipline history, any type of issues that you've had. They ask us about your grades, like I said before, your course rigor, what type of student we believe you are, and then we have to also do the recommendation letter as a counselor. They will request a high school transcript, which includes your 9th grade completed year with a cumulative, with a final GPA and number grades. We use number grades at Ghazali. Some schools use letter grades. Then 10th grade will also have all your courses, including the type of course it was. Was it a college placement? Was it a high honors? Was it a advanced placement? All that will be shown, and your 11th grade year should be completed as well. And then you will have 12th grade year courses on that transcript. So they do want to see that you are still challenging yourself and taking all the best courses that you can, showing that you are a serious student and that you are ready. I know some kids might do the basic minimum that they have to do to graduate as seniors. You know, you don't need too many more credits as a senior, especially if you took a lot of credits and you took a lot of advanced placement, you're getting more credits for that. So then when you're done, some kids might have a work study, which is also okay. I mean, if you're not taking all of the, you know, rigorous courses as a senior and you're working and studying at the same time or having an internship, that is also good, but not just taking the minimum, not doing anything with it. I would not recommend that. So you should take more courses then. So this is the two things that they require from the guidance department and the school to send to the universities that you've applied to. The teacher recommendations, like we said, extremely, extremely important. Your teacher recommendation letters, you will also be inviting at least maybe 1 to 2 teachers for your either common application or the university that you are writing to. And again, we say, please let your teachers know ahead of time, giving them enough time to write a good letter and to do the form that is required for them. It's either online. Some universities still will require a paper format where we actually have to, you know, print and write and mail everything in. But I see that I'm going to say maybe 99%, Sister Neda, now have become online. I think the world is all virtual now, alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
So, and we are very happy that they moved to mostly online, because that way you have a paper trail. You have, you know, when you send these papers to the colleges, a lot of times they might get lost because they have so many kids come applying and papers coming in and out. This is just a much better way. So we recommend all online is much better. So you'll be inviting your teachers using their email information, and then we usually will get an email telling us that so-and-so has asked for a recommendation by you, and then we would fill that out and send and upload it to the Common App or to the school that is requiring it. Any questions about this? Nope.
No.
And we always ask our students, and I want you also, even if you're not our student, to have something prepared in the beginning of the year through the summer. You know, work on a folder that you would have. We give them a list of things to do, and we ask them to please, you know, make their high school resume. That's something you have to do over the summer. Work on your college essay. Put in all of your SAT scores if you've taken them, your PSAT scores or ACT scores. These are the standardized tests that we look for. Your AP score reports, you can get all of that from the College Board. You can even print a PDF from your account and just keep it all in a folder. The teachers that you want to recommend you should be ready for that as well. And then there's a guidance checklist that we give our students to go through, and we will leave a maybe a copy at the end. I have links at the end for action plans, Sister Neda, for all of the grade levels. So we'll also share that with Sister Rana, and she can share it with the rest of, with everyone else. So kids, if you're listening, and parents, please make sure to work on compiling a folder or a portfolio that will, you know, hold all of their records, inshallah, when they need them. So when we actually sit with our students, we have them fill out this form telling us what college are you applying to, or colleges. You can fill out as many as you wish, you know, and what colleges are you applying to? That would be in the first row here. What major or majors are you thinking of? You might be thinking of 1 or 2 things, you're not sure yet. You can try to do more than 1 major in different universities if that's your interest. If you're looking for a program, like I mentioned before, accelerated programs in the health sciences field, in the law and engineering and education, there's many programs that are accelerated right out of high school. Pharmacy, pharmacy would take a student normally 4 years of undergraduate, 4 years of pharmacy school. Some students will actually, mashallah, get out of high school, go there only 2 years of undergraduate, 4 years of pharmacy school, and finish in 6 years and be a doctorate of pharmacy. And we have many, many students who have been very successful in this Rutgers program, St. John's University, Albany College of Pharmacy, so many, Fairleigh Dickinson University Pharmacy. So there are a lot of programs in our area that you really should look into. So if your child is interested in any of these accelerated programs, you can research it. For medical schools, you can look up, the lists are all online for the many, many universities that offer accelerated programs, what the requirements are. For MD programs, it's very competitive, extremely, extremely competitive. The DO programs are also competitive, but a little bit, I'm going to say, easier than the MD programs. And if you need more information on any of these programs, again, you can email us and we'll send you as many information that can help you as possible. And then we also ask our students to list the type of recommendation that the school is looking for, and they have to research the deadlines and list them here, because they must meet all the deadlines, as well as the school has to meet the deadlines and the teachers. We all have to be on one page when sending out the applications, inshallah. Okay, and any questions?
No.
No. Guidance avenues that schools should be offering and that we try our best to offer is individual meetings with each student. You know, make sure if your high school is not meeting with you that you actually go to the guidance counselor's office, especially if you're a junior. Juniors really have, you know, to find out what they need to do, right? Schedule appointments with them. Parents, you know, the schools always like to have the parents come in and they will give you that help if you ask for it, but sometimes it's hard, you know, if we don't see so many people coming to us and we're busy in our day-to-day work, you know, we might not be coming to you, but please come to us if you feel that you need help, if you're not understanding the process and any type of help that you need. We also do group counseling and meetings and workshops. I know that before COVID, now we're going to be doing it online. We would meet by group. So like the pre-med students that are trying to apply to pre-med, I'd have one meeting with them, and then nursing, and you know, you have students who want to do maybe the arts and sciences majors only, and all the different career paths that we have, physical therapy students, and we talk about that with them. We talk about financial aid, how to get scholarships, what is the FAFSA, what is the CSS profile, the common application, again, very important. And these are all avenues that your schools should be taking and helping you with. And then the individual one-on-one meetings. I know Sister Neda will start from the beginning of the year meeting one-on-one with the students, finding out what their interests are, what they're going to do. Then we follow up again with another meeting to make sure that they're meeting their deadlines. Then we do another one and make sure that they filed the FAFSA and they did everything they have to do. And we meet with parents as well, just to make sure that they're in the picture as well and know that their child is on task and doing the right thing. And alhamdulillah, I'm going to say that we are very proud and happy to say that many of our students have already been accepted to four-year universities from all over the country. We actually had early acceptances for Ivy League schools, and yesterday one of my students actually contacted me and said, "Sister, I have good news. Stanford University just accepted me early. They didn't even make her wait till the end of the month when they give acceptances to students." So she was also accepted to MIT and Caltech, and now she's waiting for the rest of them. And we also had another student who was accepted to Barnard University, which is the Columbia University for Women. So alhamdulillah, we're doing well, and Rutgers and Seton Hall and FDU and so many great universities that our students have been accepted to. And I hope our community students who are seniors are all accepted everywhere too, inshallah. So this is what your school should be doing to help you, inshallah. And as I said, these are some of the acceptances that we've received. This was last year's student class of 2021 at our school. They were accepted, mashallah, to the best universities, best programs, and it really was something that made us very proud. Year after year, alhamdulillah, that the hard work of our students and parents is paying off, and our teachers. Without them, none of this can be happening, alhamdulillah. So yes, Columbia University, Johns Hopkins University, NYU, Williams College, you know, all the schools that are on this banner. And inshallah, this year we're going to have an even larger banner. Okay, and any questions? No questions? If we don't have any questions about any of the stuff that I just talked about, then maybe I can share the action plans with them.
Yeah.
Okay. Financial aid. I did want to talk about financial aid. And I think we spoke about this a lot with on the first session that we had with the counselors from the Berkeley College. We talked about raise.me and the different checklists that we have. I think if I click on those, Sister Donna, it will open, right? Let's see.
On your presentation, you mean?
Yeah, if I click on them, well, let's see.
Yes.
Okay, so this is a college application checklist that you should have with you at the start of the year, making sure that you're following all this, your colleges. It's pretty similar to the one that we give at school, but I found a much easier one that I shared with our students as well. And also the senior planning calendar. This is very important. What 12th graders need to know. Okay, college planning in 12th grade, what you need to know through the college application process, during the fall, the things that you need to do, right? And during the spring. Right now, everyone has to be finishing up with their financial aid. They need to be waiting for their acceptances, and then also looking to see what college am I going to accept now? Which one will I take? And then senior checklist number 2, scholarship system checklist. Let's see if that opens up. All of this is coming from the College Board, and you can find a lot of information on the College Board for helping you access, your needs in the college application process. And then here are the action plans. Sorry, I'm going too quick. Action plans for 12th grade, action plans for 11th grade, action plans for 10th grade, what you need to do, and the college planning process from 9th grade and 10th from the College Boards. So all of these things you can actually find online. We'll also share it with you. Inshallah, we'll be sharing all that with you so you can, look it up and see, if you're on track as a freshman, if you're on track as a sophomore or junior in high school, and what you need to be doing over the summers in each of those years. So it's really a nice tool to have, and we'll share that as well, inshallah, with you. Let me see if I open that up and share maybe the 9th grade plan with you. What should you be doing in 9th grade? 9th and 10th grade, right? You're creating your 4-year high school plan, starting with having really good grades, working hard, right? Start thinking about the things that you're interested in, talk to your counselors, right? Start participating in extracurricular activities. You could start thinking about, saving for college with your parents. Saving from 9th grade will help you so much more. Exploring the summer opportunities, maybe an internship, a volunteer position, research work, and also getting familiar with the PSATs, because now that standardized test is very important for you to really work hard and to know what level you're at. We are, alhamdulillah, going to be offering this exam on the 17th at Al-Ghazali High School for our 8th, 9th, and 10th grade. So this is a starting plan for you to access the SAT. It's a pre-SAT, so you're really practicing and getting to know the exam and seeing where your strengths and weaknesses are. So it's important to start early, and I would say in 8th grade you should actually start with PSATs in practice. Some kids would like to take the ACT, which is fine. I mean, they accept either or, and in 10th grade, the plan is pretty much the same, but now you're getting deeper into your courses, making sure you're taking all of the best classes that you can, doing the best grades that you can achieve in your courses, and working hard, really, and extracurricular activities, again, very important. But in extracurricular activities, you really should show a type of leadership. You should show that, you're working for this club because it's a passion of yours, because it's something you believe in, because it's something that you care deeply about, not just because I want to put it on my resume. Like sometimes kids are just saying, I'm in every single club, I'm in 20 clubs. Okay, well, what is your passion then? What is it that you want to do? Prove what it is that you want. And I really see that, happen with the students that get accepted. They're actually really big in like one or two clubs. Like they're the leader of the Model United Nations clubs, they're delegates, they're training students, they are great speakers. And same thing with Science Olympiad. They've been there since 7th and 8th grade, winning awards, and they're actually, joining other clubs that have to do with sciences, has to do with the STEM field, and it's kind of going along with their interests. So when you say, I want to do this in college, say, okay, prove to me what showed that you really love this? Like, how do I know this is not something you're being pushed into, and you're not going to have an interest when you're in college? So showing interest, showing a passion for something is very important, especially to the Ivy League schools. If anybody here is looking for Ivy League, they really want to see something different in you, not just a regular plain, student doing all the same things. Not saying that students are boring, but you need to stand out somehow. Like I had a student who actually reached out to me and Sister Neda about a club that they wanted to start. And we always, always, always want to encourage our students to do that, especially being a private school. Resources sometimes are limited. We don't have enough, teachers to sponsor and all of that. It's just a lot of different things. But alhamdulillah, we also have parents that help and volunteers that help, which really helps our school create its great profile, alhamdulillah. So, and when we're talking about clubs, even starting your own club, I just actually emailed today the student body a new club that was proposed by a 9th grader. A 9th grade student proposed this really nice club that I didn't know anything about, but I started researching and learning about it. And it was really something wonderful when I read it. It's called, I believe, Operation Smile. Operation Smile. I said, why do you want to start this club? She's like, I want to make sure that all the children can smile, right? Many children can smile. And we never would think of the ni'mah that we have, that we're able to smile, alhamdulillah, that we're able to smile on each other's faces. And we won't maybe even think that other people have trouble smiling. Some babies are born with something called the cleft palate, where their lips and their mouth is very deformed. It's very hard for them to smile. They don't look as normal smiles would be. So of course it's going to cause a lot of social and emotional hardships on them. They're going to not feel normal. So this is an organization that actually raises money and helps get these kids surgeries to help them, fix their smile and fix their problem. And it's, alhamdulillah, with the ilm of today and the knowledge of our doctors, subhanAllah, they're able to help and fix and make the mouth actually, shaped a lot better, and they're able now to smile and be happy. So think about it. So that's something I think when they get to college, the time to apply for college, and this is something that they could put on their resume, that they started a really great humanitarian project, and I'm sure that it's going to build and become better and better, inshallah. So think of something that you're passionate about and start it. I mean, I know a lot of schools would be accepting of it. I'm pretty sure any good organization and legitimate one, we're open to doing that, alhamdulillah. And we even had kids that, they love chess. They wanted to start a chess club. You're welcome to do that. And they actually brought master chess players that came in and taught the kids how to play chess. And this was actually something unique. It was really nice. And it brought a lot of fun and learning, because chess is a thinking game. It's analytical. You're thinking a lot when you're playing chess. So this is just a couple of ideas of, things that you can do to make your resume look even better and better, inshallah. So how many people are listening to us now? Well, they'll hear us later, I guess. So action plans, again, I think we went over that. We'll send this again to you. And then, I've spoken a lot about our Islamic expectations of our students and of our youth in the community and abroad. And honestly, this is very important for you to keep in mind, again, that the reason for your education, the reason for your career, the reason for your success should all be for the sake of Allah it should all be for benefiting yourself and your families and your communities, and giving, giving it your all. It should not be for, of course, we do want to make money, we do want to live well, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does want us to live well. He does want us to share in the wealth that we have, inshallah. And so when you're thinking of your schools and you're thinking of your majors, make sure that your reason is a good reason, and it's one that will benefit you in the dunya and in the akhirah. Not only in the dunya are we looking for success, we want success, and we want to increase our knowledge in our lives, and help others, inshallah. So please make sure that that is core. Make sure that your salawat and your prayers, your 5 daily prayers, are something that you keep dear to your heart. And as students growing up in the United States, I really, really hope that you can understand how important your deen is to you in moving on and being successful, because without Allah, none of us can be successful. So please keep to your prayers, your 5 daily prayers. But the first thing that we will be asked about on the Day of Judgment is our salats. And so Ramadan is coming up, and this beautiful blessed month of Rajab, and now we have the Isra wal Mi'raj, and all this is time to bring you closer, inshallah, to Allah, closer to seeking the knowledge for the right reason, inshallah. Okay, and then let's see if we have any time to do the financial aid piece. I think I would have time for that. If anybody, I have more time, Sister Nada?
Yeah, it's 7:41, about 90 minutes.
I have about 20 minutes left.
Okay, so I think I can now focus a little bit on the financial aid piece a little bit more, because I know we touched on it, but a lot of people still were asking questions about how do I get scholarships and how do I do this. So I think I will close this one out, right? Stop screen and then start again.
Right.
Okay. Let's see. Share. Can you see the financial aid piece or no?
This is what's coming up, Sister Khaldia? The Islamic.
No. Okay, not the financial aid yet, no?
No.
Okay, let me try to get that back. So I think I would have to, inshallah, share screen again. Yeah, I see it, inshallah. Okay, I think, yes, the federal and state grants. Okay. So when we talk about financial aid and how you could pay for college, because colleges can actually cost really good, a lot of money for some of our parents, and we want to try to help out the community as much as we can. So you have to apply when you're doing to something called the FAFSA, FAFSA, okay, the federal application, the free application for financial aid. It doesn't cost you anything. You do have to make an account, and you have to make sure that you have the right documentations. It'll tell you everything you need when you apply, the paperwork from your parents, the income tax papers, and the different things that they will require you to ask. So they're checking your financial need when you're doing the FAFSA. This is a federal application. Then you have the state one, which is the HESA, and usually you have to do both. Alhamdulillah, they have linked both of them now this year, so you won't miss the HESA. A lot of times students will only do the FAFSA and not the HESA, so you're not getting that tuition aid grant from the state, you're getting the Pell Grant from the government as well. And these two aids will actually give you a lot of money, almost cover your tuition if you meet the financial criteria. Okay, so now they're looking at your income, they're looking at your family size, and they have a set number of dollar money that you can have before giving you that financial aid. And there is also another thing that actually I recommend to students to apply for through the College Board. It is called the Css Profile. And this one actually is a financial aid piece where they're actually not only looking at your income and family size, they're also looking at your expenditures on the month. So now you might be able to get a lot more help using the Css Profile, especially from private schools and from the Ivy League schools. This is not an option for state schools. They don't use it, but for private and Ivy League schools, you can apply for this. You can actually find so much more help through that. And I see that happening with many of our students, as if you can be making like maybe 150,000 a year with FAFSA and HESA, usually you won't get much help from the government for that. But when you fill out the CSS profile, it might actually give you some aid, because now you're showing, other students of yours that are in college that you're paying tuition for, your mortgage, your payments, and all of these expenses. So they actually calculate that, and they actually will assess all of that, not just how much money you're making. Okay, so that's the need-based FAFSA, HESA, and the CSS profile. Okay, Ivy League schools. So for Ivy League schools, they actually are all need-based. They do not give merit scholarships. A merit scholarship is a scholarship that is awarded to a student from the institution based on their GPA and their standardized tests, which is the SAT or the ACT. So based on that, they're not actually giving you a scholarship. They're giving you a need-based, so you're filing again and the FAFSA to them. You're adding them to the FAFSA, the school that can be Princeton or Harvard or Yale or any of the Ivy Leagues that we discussed. And they will make a need-based assessment for you based on your family income and size. Usually, they are a lot better than the federal government in giving money, because they are been given so many endowments and scholarships from different people and organizations. So they do have a lot of money to give out in scholarships, but you do have to meet that requirement. So like, I'm gonna say for an Ivy League school, if your parents are making less than $75,000 or $80,000 a year, you probably will get a lot of money, almost full tuition. But if you're making a lot more, they might give you half, they might give you partial. But if you're making lots and lots of money, then maybe they won't give you any at all. So you have to, you can actually try to find out on your own before applying through something called the net price calculator. And I have that in here in the link. You can put in all the information that they ask. How much money do you make? How much income? And what are you spending? And then it will actually give you an estimated number of how much money you would get if you got accepted there as a student. So this is a nice tool to use just to find out about that. And what else do we have? Private scholarships. So for private scholarships, you really have to actually research and look, through the College Board, through College Confidential, through capex.com, fastweb.com. All of these places have many, 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 many types of scholarships you can apply for. And it's an application. You can get it, you cannot get it, but the more you fill out, the better your chances to maybe get one or two. I also recommend that you find out from parents' work. A lot of our parents' work actually offer their children scholarships sometimes. So let your dad or mom ask their work, are there any children's scholarships that we can apply for universities? So you will find that a lot of universities will give some money to their the workers' children. So you can do that application through the work. You can also look up, a lot of different scholarships. Let's say that, they even have scholarships for students who had any type of difficulties in high school, who had any hardships, who maybe they even have a scholarship for high school students who had diabetes throughout high school. So they can apply for that. You can apply for Coca-Cola scholarship, McDonald's scholarships. You can also apply, even I know that a lot of our own organization offer scholarships, like maybe look at the PAC Center, look at, your own, community, see what they have out there, and just research it and apply. So you can actually find a lot of scholarships out there, but you have to seek them. They will not usually come to you. You can also find scholarships through some of the extracurricular clubs that you are in. Like our Beta Club, they actually do offer scholarships to students, but we nominate them and they apply for it. And I think 2 years we actually had students who won scholarships from that club that they were in for college, alhamdulillah. And I think I did not mention the raise.me. Sister Neda, did I talk about raise.me?
It came up on a slide earlier.
Last time, right? You want to mention it again, if you don't mind?
Yeah, the Raise.me is something that you can apply to from freshman year. And what you would do, you would put in every club that you were a part of, every A that you got, every extracurricular activity, volunteering, and anything else. And you would get some type of money towards the schools that are affiliated with Raise.me. So not all schools are affiliated with it, but it's worth taking a look at in case some of the schools that you are applying
It
to
is.
are on there.
It is.
Yeah.
Like I know of a student this year who received $8,000 from raise.me for their college. So you have to see what are the member schools in the raise.me, make an account and start, filling it in, and you'll see how much you have. But there are deadlines, so you have to make sure that you meet those deadlines as well.
Sister Khadia, I wanted to ask you about the scholarships. So there are agencies that make people pay for scholarships to get, access to private scholarships. Do you recommend that students pay for these lists, or do you recommend them to look online?
I mean, if the amount that they're asking you to pay is not a large amount and it's something that's affordable, I would say yes. I know there's some organizations that reach out to us and they've even come to our school and they've helped. You pay maybe $150 or $200. I think it's worth it. But if they're asking you for thousands of dollars, I don't think it is. I'm going to say that's my recommendation. And there are many things, like, for example, programs that high school students might join in the summer, for example, that can help them. Like, you have, NYU summer camp and Columbia University and all these, different camps that they can join and be a part of, Njt and Rutgers and what have you. Many of the universities will offer these programs, but they might be very pricey. So you can look into other programs that are not so expensive. I mean, if you do have the extra money and you're able to put your child through one of those programs and it's an educational program where they're getting actual credits and learning, then I would say it's worth it. But if it's just to put that tag on there, I don't know if it's really worth it. You want them to benefit from it as well. And sometimes those programs might lead them to getting, applying to some of those scholarships. Did that explain it, Nether? Yeah. Okay. And so what is an institutional scholarship, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if we talked about institutional scholarships are those merit-based scholarships that universities will automatically offer you in your acceptance letters. So a lot of kids who are seniors will see, here's your award letter, and you are offered, let's say, $15,000 per year for the 4 years that you are in the college. You must meet the requirement to keep that scholarship as you are in the college. They will give that to you for 4 years, but you must meet the requirements each year or else it could be dropped. So how do you get those scholarships? Again, it's based on your grades, right? Your GPA, no matter if you are in a honors AP or CP class, if you do have the GPA that matches it, you have that GPA. So I know a lot of kids think, oh, if I don't have an honors class, I'm not going to get a scholarship. That's not true. You just really have to have that good grade, that if you have the higher the better. I'm saying, you could start off at B+, but many of the universities are looking for A students, right, to give them full rides. But you will get partial scholarships from some of them as well. And SAT is a big deal as well. I know now because of COVID, they have made it test optional, right? So you don't have to give in your score if you didn't take the exam, or maybe you took it and you don't really like your score. It's okay this year not to give it. Some universities might be extending it to the next year as well. But again, I think if you did take that SAT and you did score high, your chances are going to be way higher. So let's not drop SAT. I still think everybody should be studying and getting ready and going for SAT or ACT. And if you do well on that, it's kind of like a ticket to get these scholarships, basically, with your grades, okay? So what do they look for in a scholarship? I mean, if you want to get 100% paid for scholarships from NJIT, from Rutgers is very difficult to get a full ride. You must have, I think, about a 1,500 on your SAT, which is out of 1,600, plus a 95 or above GPA, and they will give you the presidential scholarship, which actually covers your tuition, room and board, and even your food. And NJIT, I think they are now looking at a 1450 SAT for honors college, plus a 91 or above GPA, and you can get yourself up to 15 to full tuition scholarships there. And alhamdulillah, many of our students have gone to these universities with full rides, with partial, like maybe half, a $10,000 award. You have also Seton Hall, who gives really great scholarships. Fairleigh Dickinson gives really great scholarships. If you want, I think the presidential for FDU is about 1,400, or is it more now? Sister Neda?
I think it's about 14.
1,400, and you would get almost like a full ride. I know if the room, I don't think room gets covered, but FDU is in the area, so you don't really have to take that room and board. And then you have so many universities that offer scholarships in our area and abroad, in New Jersey and in New York and in Philadelphia. So many, Pennsylvania has so many universities that our students apply for, and they do give pretty good scholarships as well. But again, your grades will matter, your GPA, your SAT, and there's something else that I probably didn't mention when you're doing the applications. You really have to meet those deadlines. The priority deadline is very important for you to actually be taken into consideration for the scholarship. So priority deadlines for universities, it could be, most of the time, I'm going to say December 1st. By December 1st, you should have applied to that university if you want to be given the full privilege of being offered an institutional scholarship. If you wait till, let's say, let's say February, you decide I'm going to apply to Rutgers now. They are open, rolling admissions, you can do that, but you know what? You missed the priority deadline, so if there's no more money left in their scholarship pool, then they're not going to offer you that money. Many other students already applied and they've offered them that money. So applying early and meeting priority deadlines, meeting early decision deadlines, this is important for you also to keep in mind when you're looking for scholarships. Don't wait till the end when there's no money left to give out. Okay, let's see what else I have. Talked about Njt Honors and what they require. You can get a full scholarship there with the 1450 and 91 or above GPA, and also being interviewed by the university. William Patterson also university gives a lot of scholarships to students. Montclair, Rutgers, again, very difficult, but it's doable. You just really have to work hard. And the other private scholarships that I mentioned through College Board, the Big Future, this one really has a lot of information about colleges and what the requirements are and the eligibility to get applications. Capex.com, fastweb.com, all of these are very good sites for you to research and find out about private scholarships that you can apply to. And I think I'm pretty much done with the presentations. Inshallah, I hope that it was helpful, and if anybody has any more questions and they're not asking now, feel free to ask later.
Jazakallah khairan, Sister Khaldiya. I'd just like to conclude by saying, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put barakah into all of our children's lives and all of their endeavors, Ya Rab. And I'd like to give you a special thank you for not only sharing your vast experience and expertise in this, but also reminding us of our core purpose and why we do what we do. So Jazakallah khairan, Sister Khaldiya, for presenting, Sister Nada, Samo for joining us. Your insight and expertise has been very valuable, and I've shared your emails on the in the chat. So if anyone wants to reach out and has any questions, you can contact them personally. And we will be beginning our next 3 series on how to equip your child in a technologically driven world starting next week. So we hope everyone can join us at that time. And Jazakallah khairan.
Jazakallah khairan. been our pleasure, and I really am so happy and proud, and I pray, inshallah, that Allah blesses all of our children and brings them to the best success that they can have in this dunya and in the akhirah. Barakallah feekum. Thank you again, Sister Rana, for being such a great facilitator and host. Thank you to the ICPC. You know, we love you all. Jazakumullah khair. Barakallah feekum.
Thank you, Sister Rana. Jazakallah khair.
Barakallah feekum. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.